Well, it's just been difficult. It's been a difficult pre-season, really. So it's been no different. We've just prepared as if the game's on. I think it's easier to do it as the game's on, and then if it gets called off, we'll deal with that. You know, what we don't want to do is just be surprised by it that it's on, and we've not prepared properly. So it's not been ideal, but you know, we've prepared properly for it.
I mean, just take us through how the last 3 or 4 weeks have been. Obviously, some disappointing results in pre-season, but that's pre-season and it doesn't necessarily say anything else. But with the players and COVID and everything else, what has pre-season been like?
Difficult with it's been stop-start. You know, the big thing that was a problem for us was the takeover dragging. You know, we were in lockdown. You know, I was sat in lockdown and with 9 players, and we were trying to get people back in. Other teams were training. You know, I was trying to get the players back in training, but all the players were on furlough because of obviously the expense of bringing them in. We couldn't do it, so that was the most frustrating thing for me. And then all of a sudden, we're playing catch up. You know, and you know, we had a group of games to play. We couldn't play a couple of the games because of the protocol. You know, we were supposed to play Northampton Town, but the protocol wouldn't allow us to play the game because we were in small bubbles. And then obviously the Matlock game where we had the problem with the COVID. So you know, it's not been ideal, but you know, again, we just have to get on with it.
Do you feel it's potentially going to be a stop-start season if individuals at clubs, whether it's players or staff, do test positive and various other factors get involved?
Yeah, I think it will be. You know, I said this. You know, I was talking to our supporters last night, and you know, they say it's the same for everybody, but it's the same for everybody until somebody gets COVID in your club, and then it's not the same for everybody because there's a massive knock-on effect of it, of obviously where we've been, who we've been with, what players they are, how many players there are. So, and it's no different. You know, it's just trying to protect the players, trying to protect the bubble. But, you know, we've got players who've got young families and we've got players who've got kids who are at school, you know, and it's not, you know, no different. You know, some people like myself, because obviously my wife works, works in education, so she's been at risk because she's had to go through in the lockdowns, and so some people are more at risk than others, it's the same when everything's okay, but as soon as somebody gets it, then there's a massive domino effect, and it's that domino effect that becomes the problem.
I understand you've had COVID as well, so understand why we're doing all this and why the need and the necessity is to be as strict as everything is being.
Yeah, I mean, initially, I mean, we were always taking it serious. You know, it's something that, you know, I've said all along, right the way through. It's something that we've got no idea about. It's totally new. It's just a strange situation we're in. But then having caught it, I wouldn't want anybody else to go through. I mean, it did floor me for, you know, a good 4 or 5 days. I mean, my one I had, it attacked my nervous system, so I just felt like I've been knocked down. And it's not fun. Other people, you know, they lose the taste, lose the smell, but you know, we had it kind of went through our family, so we were, you know, I couldn't come in and train. The staff I had couldn't come in because they'd been around me, and that was literally for the only time we were around each other was for 40 minutes in an office where we thought we were, you know, the distance was big enough, and it wasn't. So the knock-on effect of that was, you know, then you've got to go and everybody's got to go and have a test, and then they come back in when the test is negative. But then there's a massive backlog in the labs. So we were missing, you know, players and staff for a week. You know, I was almost 3 weeks. So it's been very tough. It's been very difficult. Like I say, if it goes to other clubs, they'll be no different. But we just really got to manage it and do the best we can in a very difficult circumstance and time right now.
And all this after 6.5 months without a competitive game, and now you're facing the prospect of 5 in the matter of a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we just want to get going, try and get some normality to it. Would I like to be in a better situation and had a better pre-season? Yes. Would I have liked to played more games? Yes. But we've got a string of games, like, as you're saying, coming up now. And I think we're ready, the players are ready just to get going and just get his heads down and just see how it goes. And we'll, the more games we have, we will definitely get better. I know that. We've done that before. We might be a little bit rusty to start with, but, that usually happens at the start of the season anyway. So, we're looking forward to try and get some normality with playing footballs and football matches and knowing that when our next game is, instead of, if we didn't start, we'd only have to organise games and play them anyway. So we might as well play the ones, that matter and get the season rolling.
Yeah, positive way of looking at it, John. The club put its squad list on the website today, 20 players in that. You happy with the composition and the numbers and the options that you've got, or are you still looking to bring a few in?
Well, I think in ideal scenario, we probably could do with maybe another 2. But I have a budget in which we've got to work to. The budget was cut from last year, which I'm okay with. We know the situation, what's happening. Money's tight. We haven't got any supporters. There's not a lot of money coming into the club. So, again, we just got to get on with it. In an ideal world, I'd like to strengthen the squad, but who wouldn't? But what I really want more than we had last year when I came in was a more of a balance to the squad. We had no balance really to the squad last year. So one player came out, and if it was a certain player in a certain position, it could throw 3 or 4 players because we're moving people around trying to keep a balance to it. Whereas now, if I'm hoping if one comes out, then we can put another one in, and he knows the job, and he's it's normal position than trying to move 3 or 4 players around. So yes, I would like maybe a couple of more players, but and I've been supported brilliant by Mike, the new chairman. But like money's tight, so I don't want to waste it. I don't want to just bring somebody in for the sake of it if he's not really what we want, And then we're looking at calling some favours maybe if we needed someone and see what's available that we might be able to borrow from another club.
Is Mike Fondop someone we could see return to the technique?
Well, Mikey, I was asked a question last night. Why didn't we sign Mikey? Mike, I like Mikey. Mikey was a good player for us. He just wanted to keep his options open. He didn't want to sign for us at that time. So, and that's kind of where we are at the moment. He wanted, the right to have that option, and he was out of contract. So we just had to, try and move on from it.
COVID aside, and given everything you've said about pre-season, how is the squad going into the weekend in terms of an injury perspective? Will there be any absentees that you won't be able to use? Well,
we'll have a look tomorrow. I think we'll finalise tomorrow. We've just got a couple who have been carrying not massive things, but what I don't want it to become a problem. So, hopefully we'll have a head count tomorrow and see where we are, and then. But other than those 2 players, everybody else is fine, training well, working hard. They're in good spirits today. I think they're just looking forward to getting going, which is, like we all are. I think we just, it's been a long time. It's been, over 6 months since we've kicked a ball in anger. So, I think that's what we're looking forward to.
Now, fans are going to be able to attend the Technique Stadium this weekend and watch the game on screens, but fans aren't allowed inside the stadium at the game, which could potentially be safer. I mean, what do you make of all this? At the moment, it seems to be mind-blowing that we can't have some level of fans inside stadiums.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at, I had a league managers meeting midweek, and we were told by in that meeting that the games would not go ahead could categorically say that they would not go ahead if we can't get any fans in the stadium. So, and then, you know, week after we're playing with no fans in the stadium. So, you know, I think we've just got a gear for you know, we are where we are. We would love supporters to come back in. You know, we need the supporters for several reasons. Obviously, one the main being we need the income, we need the help financially, and the other, you know, we do want the support, and we want our supporters to come and watch us play. And I'm sure every other football club in our league is the same. But I just think it's just crazy. You know, it's crackers. You know, I think we're having one where they can come to the stadium and watch the game on the TV, but they can't look out the window. I mean, that's another one. You know, that's just crazy again. But, you know, the rules are what they are. We've just got to adhere with them and get on with it.
How vital is this support package that's coming from the government towards the National League in enabling you to carry on and to actually play games this season?
Yeah, massively. You know, it's again, it's just I can't quite get my head around. There's so many things going on, and so many things that we've got to think about, and so many legislations, and there's so many rules, and there's and one thing changes after another one. We just want some normality to what we're doing, you know, and try to get on with what we're doing is playing football.
And that starts with Wealdstone this weekend, a first ever meeting between the two clubs. What have you been able to learn about them ahead of the game?
Well, they're obviously a good side, you know, because they got promoted last year. So they'll be high. You know, I think it's going to be a tough game. We know that because of, you know, I think we're a big scout for people, and we're playing them at home, their first home game. So I'm sure they'll be buzzing for it. Watch them play. You know, they've got some good players. They play a decent way of playing, but where they all work hard together. It's no different than anybody else. We just get on with it. We get on with the game, you know. And we're looking forward to, like I say, because we haven't played for a long time.
Yeah, did you manage to bottle the sort of momentum that you had before everything shut down in sort of January, February, and March? Because if you have been able to do that and carry on, then things were starting to move in a really good direction. Yeah,
I certainly think, you know, we. I mean, that game. I thought the first coming in, the first game against Sutton, I felt we were, you know, we won the game 1-0, but I felt we were a bit fortunate in that game, certainly towards the end of it, because, you know, we just didn't look, you know, we almost looked like we hit a brick wall for a while. But then you were looking at the training and what we've been doing, and it's just changing that. And then we had more games, the training we changed, and we got better, with the games. Some of the players had not been playing, who then started to play 4 and 5 and 6 games, and they got better. So, you know, we will get better. You know, what we'll get on Saturday, I'm hoping we'll just get what we get the first game, and you know, everybody's up for it, and we get going. But we'll definitely get better the more games we play. Like I say, we've only played 3 games, and I wanted to involve everybody. So some of the, you know, we've not had everybody. Not everybody has played 90 minutes football, which is not being ideal. But what we have done is done it in the training sessions where we can do it. So it's not that they haven't done it; they haven't done it in proper matches. So that's the difference, really.
Do you feel it's a new start for this football club?
I hope it's a new start. Yes, you know, I hope it's a new start. I understand what's gone on, you know, in previous years, and I know it's been very difficult, and I know it's going to take a lot to get everybody, you know, believing in not only the team but what's happening at the football club, and to get behind it. So, you know, I'd like to think that the supporters have now have got, you know, somebody in charge who've got the club at heart. It certainly are, you know, it is in good hands. You know, my dealings with Mike and John Crew have been great. You know, they want the best for the club. I like what they want to do with it. I like where they're going with it. They are supporters. I just would like everybody to get behind, the football club in a positive way. So, we can move forward. I do understand that a lot of that comes down to results that happen on the pitch. I thought before, we finished and the lockdown, the connection between the supporters and the players. I've been here, a couple of years, and I worked here before when Martin Allen was here, and the connection with the supporters and the players wasn't there. It was very difficult, but we started to get that back, and it was a really tough place for people to play here in the end because of the supporters, what they did to us and how they supported us and got behind us. So yes, I hope it's a new start for everybody, staff, players, supporters, everybody concerned with the town of Chesterfield, because it's what we need.
John, you obviously were at the Q&A event last night. Was it nice to speak to the supporters? And how did you find it?
It was nice to speak to the supporters. Obviously, it's the first time I've done that here. I found it a bit mixed, if I'm honest. I found it, really good. I understand that I've got more understanding of the frustration of the supporters. But what we can't do, is just, what's happened has happened. We can't keep going on of what's happened. We've got a new owner, a new takeover. We're going into a new era for this football club. I know what my responsibility is with that, but again, I want us to be positive about what we're doing and where we're going. But yeah, I enjoyed it. There was some good questions being asked, and hopefully, I've tried to be honest. I think you know me now. I've tried to be honest as I can in the answers and the responses I give. That's just the way we were.
Just ahead of Saturday, and in terms of team news, Carl Levering was obviously missing last week. How's he?
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, obviously going back to the the COVID protocol, his little boy, we came back with a bit of a cough. So we just have to get people tested, and unfortunately for him, he was tested on Friday, so he couldn't come back in for the game, but he's back in training now. So his boys, thank touch wood, he's clear, and so was Kyle. So yeah, that's just a difficult thing where that's the one. More than getting a little niggle or a knock is the problem, because you just don't know how long that's going to be. The process of that. But yeah, everybody else is okay. Like I said, the couple of players who we're going to have a look at, see how they are tomorrow. But even though they're not a million miles away, so touch wood, we're getting everybody back together.